Hello all. Alright, beautiful day today. I thought I'd come up and do a video on a different trail. Busier than right. Alright, well we have a second or two before the next humans come around. Let's see if we can get a video in. So, many places around the world are having problems with the weather. Excessive rain, excessive snow, excessive heat, excessive drought, you name it. But the oceans are also having it. I'll give you an example. The Gulf of Maine, where a warm Gulf Stream comes up and a cold Gulf Stream comes down. And where the cold meets the hot is now shifting further north. Meaning that the animals that live in the Gulf of Maine, one of the richest marine ecosystems there are. The base of it is zooplankton, tiny little crustaceans, and there are different creatures that rely on this zooplankton. Whales, puffins, and cod are just some of them. These are the ones that are being impacted the worst. By 2050, populations of lobster, cod, haddock, pollock, herring, shrimp, redfish, and red hawks will all be diminished. This is a catastrophic effect on seabirds. And speaking of seabirds, the birds in these areas that live on the cliff and mate and survive endured 54 continuous days of rain in 2022, killing off many of the birds just by cold, wet, and rain. The problem is the birds can't keep the oil on their feathers long enough during these hard rains, and they just start to freeze to death and they die. Lobsters and other things that can move will of course move northeast up into the ocean column way up north, meaning that the Gulf of Maine will no longer be a haven for fishing, and we will lose a lot of the food chain that comes from that area for those people that eat meat, including fish, which is a form of meat. That's one of the reasons you could become a vegetarian, so that you don't eat so much of the seafood. 54 million tons of lobster a year are caught off of Maine. Those numbers are now diminishing quickly and will continue to diminish as the years go on and the warmer Gulf Stream comes up in that area. I was listening to Environmental Coffee House yesterday, and it was really weird how terrible things are in different parts of the world, where people are suffering from mudslides, torrential rains, and other storms. And it's so important that we start paying attention to this as a community. What can we do to diminish these problems? First of all, one thing we can do is not eat seafood, because the sea creatures are in dire trouble already without having to be caught up in some net and taken off to somebody's dinner plate just because they think they have to have lobster. In reality, lobsters are going to become an endangered species pretty soon. And unfortunately, people don't seem to know that. That's why it's so important to pass this on, these videos, mine and others, that are talking about this, so that people understand that they can make a decision on whether to eat meat or not that day. It's a very simple thing. There's plenty of alternatives to eat than seafood. And that's the basis of my video today, is let's get off the meat kick and get on to the vegetarian kick. Veggies were meant to be eaten. That's why they produce fruit and other things that can be eaten year after year after year and not have to worry about them being extinct or anything. So I do appreciate all your guys' comment on the last video and your ups. You gave me a lot of them. It's important. That way Google will spread my video around. Apparently there just isn't enough news out there being told about these situations around the world that people are paying attention to. Maybe if more and more of us talk about it, we can somehow correct the issue, though I sort of doubt it. And until next time.